The pride of married men.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord.
So no matter how you feel about the woman you got, God said that it's a good thing you got a wife. That's why he said to Adam, it's not good for you to be alone. It's some things that you need that only a woman can provide for you. Give me the I just posted it in the Sabbath class group. I forgot to set it in order. Pull up that last article I just posted. Let's see some good things of the Lord, the favor that he shows us when we find us a wife. Okay, so 7 reasons marriage is important. Scroll down. So let's see. I'm going to skip those paragraphs. Keep going. Take the bars off. Keep going down. Scroll down. I want to get straight to the points. Go ahead. Go ahead. There we go. Okay. Can you read those for us, officer?
You share your life with someone.
It's a good thing to find a wife because you get to share it. We are social creatures. If you lock up a dog in a cage, it will go crazy. It'll become violent. You lock a human up in a padded wall and no interaction, he'll go crazy. So good thing with a wife, you share your life with someone, right? Read that real quick. Read through that. The Lord God.
The Lord God said, it is not good for man to be alone. Then he made the woman. God, the creator of the universe, said loneliness was not good. Then he instituted marriage. Companionship makes life better. Research had proven that marriage makes people live longer.
Ooh. It's good that you found a wife. You add some years to your life. You know why? She might cook you something healthy and you can stop eating the fast food.
For real.
Go ahead.
You don't have to go through the highs, lows, and in-betweens of life alone. You have someone you can go through these things with. 2 are better than 1, Ecclesiastes 4:9. Right.
So read the next one, number 2.
2, sex.
All right, we already know about that. Keep you from getting diseases and half your paycheck, third of your paycheck gone before you even get it. Had brothers you can't even hardly get a place because you got to pay child support to 2 different baby mamas you got. Because you didn't know nothing about marriage. You didn't know marriage was honorable and it was good that you found a wife. Number 3.
It is a divine idea.
Read that one.
God started this thing called marriage, and he is a good father. He wants you to be married. It is a gift from him.
It says, whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Go ahead.
But at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the 2 will become one flesh. So they are no longer 2, but one flesh.
One flesh. Next one, number 4.
It teaches love.
It teaches love. Marriage is supposed to teach you how to love. A lot of you brothers, you don't know how to love. You don't know what compassion is. You don't know how to show mercy. Those are things that you lack. So God gave you the complete opposite of you to bring out a side that he needs you to take on when you're dealing with your kids. Same way that you would deal with your kids, you'd be compassionate and long-suffering and teach them. It's the same thing that you're supposed to do with a wife. Compassionate, long-suffering, and teach them.
Right, because from before with the system, before you could just give your kid up to foster care and different things like that.
Down.
Those kids had to stay with you. Same thing in a marriage. Before the law of divorcement, before you thought you could divorce, God says, nah, y'all supposed to have been together for the rest of your life. So it forces us to stay and fight together.
That's right.
Instead of, oh, damn, we having this dispute. Let me go on ahead with my business. I don't want to see you no more. I'm gone. Nah, it teaches us how to love that person no matter what's been going on. No matter what she did, no matter what he did, you still have to show compassion. And it's funny how these articles and a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, because there's things that we would not know or how to deal with without having a wife and dealing with her one-on-one.
Yep. I'll tell you right now, a wife will teach you patience.
For real.
Off top, teach you patience. And a lot of you brothers, you get married, you go through that. When you first go in your first few years of marriage, you realize that you didn't have no patience. You never had to deal with that really before because it was just you and your boys, and y'all always reacted on an instant. Let's go hoop. All right, let's go. Let's go to the club. Oh, let's go. It wasn't nothing holding you back. Now you got a wife where you can say something over and over again, try to teach her over and over again, tell her to do this over and over again, and it might not happen instantly. Now you got to exercise what? Patience through love. So it teaches love. Let's skip that one. Let's go to the next one.
It is healthy for the nation.
Read that one.
A nation with strong marriages is a really strong one. Good marriages are the bedrock of any solid society.
No wonder we destroyed as a people. We ain't married. That's the foundation of any solid society is marriage. God knew what he was doing. The first thing he instituted was, Adam, take a wife. And then build from there. Read on in that.
Traditional marriage between a man and a woman has been a cornerstone of our society for generations.
For generations. It's healthy for the nation. It trickles down to who? Who does you, two adults being married, who does that trickle down to, brothers? The kids. Number 6.
It is healthy for kids.
Read on. Read that quick.
Even as an adult, I rejoice that my mama and Dada live together and are in love with each other. How much more growing kids? One of the best things a couple can do for kids is to provide them with a strong marital model.
Marital model of how it's supposed to be, not your dysfunctional marriage all your life. We still together. Read on.
When marriages break, kids break. But when marriages are strong, the kids that come from that marriage witness firsthand the power of unity.
Man, this is heavy. I didn't even read all of these, but this. I hope you're picking up what they're putting down on here. Read on. Number 7.
You grow up.
You do what?
You grow up.
Grow the hell up when you're married. You grow up. Read on.
You want me to read that paragraph?
Yeah, read that paragraph.
Marriage makes you grow up really fast. You get matured because you now have another human being apart from yourself to deal with. The growing up lessons you learn in marriage can be well applied to other areas of life. What greater thing is there for two human souls than to feel that they are joined for life, to strengthen each other in all labor, to rest on each other in all sorrow, to minister to each other in silent, unspeakable memories at the moment of the last parting.
Damn, that's heavy. Woo.
Go forth and marry.
Read that paragraph again.
All of it?
Yeah.
Marriage makes you grow up really fast. You get matured because you now have another human being apart from yourself to deal with. The growing up lessons you learn in marriage can be well applied to other areas of life. What greater thing is there for two human souls than to feel that they are joined for life?
It's a great feeling knowing that somebody. What's that old song, Teddy P? What'd he say? Elijah Kill? What's that song? When somebody what? Somebody loves you back. That's a great feeling. To know somebody wants you, you're loved. You got somebody to come home to, not that cold pillow and that silent house.
For real.
Okay, so we'll go from there. Go to Sirach 36:24. Let me speed up here. Ecclesiasticus 36:24. So it's good that whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing. You found favor from the Lord. He's trying to prolong your life, make things right, teach you some things, right? Some compassion, some long suffering, all of those things. Give you some joy. Sirach 36:24. Who's back here? Where we at? Anybody?
Sirach chapter 36, verse 34.
24.
Verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
So that wife that you was given by the Lord, that is good for you, she has now become your possession. That means you have to build her the way you want her to be. And it's many things that you have to go through, many obstacles that you have to go through to get her to where you want her to be as a husband. And we're going to go through those things. But she's yours. So if she's not the way you want her to be, the only person to look at and blame is who? It's you. God said it's your possession. I gave it to you. It's a good thing. Now, put in the work to build her up. Now let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. 1 Peter 2 and 9.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light.
That's why the wife he gave you that's good to be with, that's why you have to build her. She's your possession, because both of you have been pulled out of darkness. What is darkness, brothers? What is it? Sin. Darkness is sin. You've been pulled into the marvelous light of God, of knowing who you are, what it means to be married, the things you have to do, your purpose in life. But you have to put in the time to build her, because she came out of a way of life that she lived. You came out of a way of life that you lived, and you got two jacked up lives meshing together, staying together. It's only natural that you gonna clash. When all the filth from your life of darkness clash with all her filth of life from darkness, it's going to clash and you're going to have problems. But you have the pride of married man that kicks in. Give me Proverbs 2. Let's read 13 and 14 to show you what darkness is. Real quick. Let's go. I got a lot to get through. Let's go. Proverbs chapter 2, and let's read 13 and 14. Show you what darkness is.
Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 13. Who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil.
To do what?
To do evil.
Evil is what, brothers? Sin. Who rejoice to do evil, read on.
And delight in the forwardness of the wicked.
So darkness is evil, which is sin. All right, go to Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. Today's class, the pride of married man. Hebrews 5 and 12. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk, and not of strong meat.
So both of you coming out of that darkness into light, is your job, man, to be retaught so you can teach her and build her up. That's your job. It's your first thing. That's why the first where does the first church the church first start at? Where does it start at, brothers? At home. God instituted that way. The church, your first church is starting at home with your wife. That is your possession that you have to build up. So you need what it say? It says, for the time ye ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again. You got to relearn about marriage the correct way. And then you teach her before you get any type of leadership responsibilities in here. That's why your house got to be in order.
Hey, by raise of hand, how many of you men were married before you came into the truth? Raise your hand. All right.
Yeah. And never mind.
Married before the truth. All praises. How many of you were not married before the truth? I'm with you. I'm with you. But the only reason we got married was because what? So those laws wasn't there before we was laying down with our wives? Give the mic to Matthias.
Somebody had to teach us to be married.
There you go.
It's just the same way we was taught. We have to teach our wives what it means now. It's the same thing. You have to be taught again. That was the only reason we actually got married, because we was taught like, oh, this is vital to your salvation.
That's the only reason I think me and Zahara was before the truth, but I didn't even know Exodus 22:16 was in the Bible until somebody sat us down like, Exodus 22. Yeah. Oh, okay. We came back the next week.
Right.
But we didn't know. Somebody had to teach us. So that's why you come here week in, week out, so you can learn. Learn, and then you teach them, because these women don't know how to be married. I'm telling you that right now. No more than you do, because we're a broken nation. So you can't blame them. It's just as much as your fault as it is theirs for trouble in the house. Psalms 119. Let's read 97 and 98. She got a stank attitude. Well, be merciful. It's because she grew up in darkness. Psalms 119, 97 and 98.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 97.
Uh-huh.
Oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Though through thy commandments
Thou through
thy commandments has made me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation.
So in order to get that marriage to be honorable, you got to love the Lord, the law of the Lord, and you got to meditate on it. Go to James chapter 1, verse 5. Let's see how God tells us to ask for wisdom that makes you wise. James 1 and 5.
James chapter 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God.
Read it again.
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally.
So it says, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. So how do we ask God for wisdom? What brother knows? How do we ask God for wisdom? No brother knows. How do you ask God for wisdom? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ebenezer, let's see. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. You came out of darkness into marvelous light. You don't know. You got to be taught.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
You pray for it.
No. That's one step of it, but that ain't how you ain't Solomon. Tell you that right now. The only person that prayed for wisdom and is given was Solomon. We don't fall into that category. Brother behind Alfred. Stand up so you know who you are. Yeah, stand up. What's your name again, brother?
Ashbel, brother Ashbel.
Ashbel. Okay. How do you ask for wisdom?
By following his commandment.
There you go. You follow the commandments. Let's get that. Sirach 1 and 26. So this is how you know about getting wisdom.
Sirach chapter 1 and verse 26. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments.
Read it again.
If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments.
Keep the commandments, right? So now watch this. Go to 2 Timothy 2:15. We know this one, right? 2 Timothy 2:15.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15.
You desire wisdom, keep the commandments. Go ahead.
Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
So the keeping of the commandments and the studying along with it is how the Lord gives you more and more and more wisdom as much as you want it. As much as you want that wisdom, he'll give it to you. He don't hold back from it, but you got to apply yourself to it. Now, study, right? Guess what the least studied topic is among married men in the nation of Israel? Can somebody take a guess? What's the least studied? I need a married brother to answer this question. Samson. What's the least studied topic in the nation of Israel?
Adultery.
No. You missed that precept. No, Ebenezer, you're a single brother. I need a married. See, this is how you know. We got give it to Eliakim.
That wisdom.
No.
Judah.
No, you know, single brother, don't raise your hand. Let me give it to Abiyah.
Patience.
Give it to Matthias.
What was the question again?
Oh,
What was? Hold on. Got it.
no, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. What is, question is, guess what the least studied topic among married men is?
Marriage.
Marriage. You know how we know that? 3 out of 60 of you brothers in here raised your hand, and all of you got it wrong until Matthias. No wonder we got so much damn married counsel in all of Israel. You don't even study the topic. Study to show thyself approved unto God. Not marriage, though. Everything else but the one thing that God gave me in this. I might not know the truth. I might not know all these precepts, but I know I got this one woman that I'm going home to every day. To her, and I don't know the first thing about what we doing. All I know is don't cheat. We gonna learn something. We gonna learn some things on the way.
They know one more other thing, Cap.
Oh,
Woman,
yeah.
submit.
That's it.
That's it.
Do benevolence.
Right. Yeah. That's another one. Do benevolence.
Submit
And
to do
submit.
benevolence. And keep it warm for me. It's the least studied topic among married men is marriage. But guess what the most wanted thing is of man in Israel? What is it? A wife, which is marriage. You know how we know that? God says that you single brothers, you out here sad as hell right now. God said you're sad. You might not think it. You know why you say, nah, I'm cool? That's because you ain't got no wife. You don't know what it's like to go to them 7 things right there. You come home, the food's ready. You got your drink half cup full right there. You got somebody keep you warm at night. You got some do benevolence when you want it. You got somebody to talk to. Somebody rub your back. Somebody make you feel wanted. Somebody that loves you back. You don't know what you're missing right now. That's why you don't know your morning. But that's the most wanted thing in Israel, and it's the least studied topic among men. Yeah, real quick. Go ahead.
It's like getting the most precious gift and the most delicate gift, and then saying, you know what? Who needs the instructions?
Right.
I got this.
I got it. Oh, man, that's a heavy point right there, man. Okay, Ephesians 5:31. The pride of married men.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 31. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh.
So verse 31 is talking about what subject, brothers? Is what subject, brothers? What subject, brothers? Marriage. Now read verse 32.
This is a great mystery. But I speak concerning Christ and the church.
Marriage is a great mystery. But you brothers don't even study on it. What mystery of God can you give the least amount of time to in studying and expect to understand it? You name it. Not one. Read it. Go ahead.
Hey, this is a little breakdown of that great mystery, right? Married men, raise your hand. Keep your hand raised. All right. After this question, keep it raised if you agree. Will you die for your wife? Would you still die for them after they spit in your face? Pluck your beard. Spit in your food. Try to poison you. That's that great mystery. Because they did it to Christ, and Christ still died for the nation of Israel.
Boom. They did him absolutely wrong. Beat on him. Hung him. And he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Yeah. The mystery of God. No mystery that you can give the least amount of time to and expect to understand, especially coming out of darkness. If that's you, Satan has deceived you and you don't even know it. Here's the proof. James chapter 3, 13 through 15. If marriage is the least amount of studying and attention you give to it, Satan has deceived you and you have been taken over by his will and you don't even know it. Here's the proof. James 3, and let's read what I call 13 through 15.
James chapter 3 and verse 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you?
Who has studied? Who has studied and asked God by keeping of the commandments? Read on.
Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts,
that's what most marriages got in them.
Glory not.
Especially some of you brothers right there. You got bitter envying and strife in your marriage right now. Glory not. Read on.
And lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish.
And what?
Devilish.
And what?
Devilish.
And what?
Devilish.
The devil got you. He's been took control of you and you don't even know it. That strife, that envying, that confusion in the marriage, that's Satan. He using you. He using your wife. Pride of married man. Read on. Read it again. Read verse, what was we at? 15. Read it again.
This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work.
Satan is taking your lack of knowledge in marriage and how to make it right to destroy the foundation of every society. The mystery that you don't even apply yourself to study to how to make it right by you being a better husband. You slack on that and study all the other deep stuff. Satan's like, yes, go ahead, ask that Isaiah chapter 62, verse 7 that nobody has ever answered. You be the one to ask that question this Sabbath. All the while, your wife's the devil and you the devil too. House in turmoil, arguing all the time, need counsel, don't do it. But you asking those kind of questions. Satan is using your lack of knowledge in that against you. Galatians 5:15, and this is what happens. That lack of knowledge.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 15. But if ye bite and devour one another,
that's what you do.
Take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
You bite and devour through your strife and your envy and your bitterness towards one another. You devour each other into the point of where you destroy each other. You get to the point of where you just married. You ain't even happy. You just married.
You know how bad it gets? It gets to the point where they don't even want to keep the commandments no more.
Yep.
Just to get rid of you or just to be away from you. That's how much pride some of us have in our marriages. To the point where we be like, you know what? Let me fall back because it seems like she's about to bug out. Let me ease it up. Let me have some patience with her. Let me deal with her another type of way. Let me find another avenue to get what I need across to her. We'll have so much pride to the point where it's either to the point where you can leave the truth for all I care.
I found another one.
Right. Nah.
And even in the ones, the new relationships that you go into, that explosive, toxic attitude that you had in your, whether a previous relationship or the one that you're in now it spills over to everybody else that you deal with.
There you go. Because you biting and devouring ain't going to only destroy you, it's going to destroy those that you bring into this life. It's going to destroy those that you are connected to, because we are all one body. We are all connected. We are a nation. And it goes back, your marriage destroyed, there goes the beginning of the foundation of a strong nation to start to crumble all over again. Give me Isaiah 58:9. We building up to something, y'all.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 9. Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of the yoke, the putting forth of the finger.
The what?
The putting forth of the finger.
So let's see. You go from the strife and the envying and the bitterness and the evil work to the biting and the devouring one of another till you destroy, and then you get to playing the blame game, pointing the finger. It ain't me, it's her. It ain't me, it's him. That's how it goes. Boom, 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 boom. It's the woman thou has given me. You play the blame game, right? Pull up that article. You do that, you bite, you devour, bitter, envy, and strife. At the end of the day, it's really called a broken marriage. That's exactly what it's called, a broken marriage. Pull up the article. Read that for us. 5
reasons we play the blame game.
Now let's get straight to the point. It says, but you see down in the small letters, but rarely win. Scroll down to the points of it. Keep going. You'll see it. There we go.
All right. 1, blame is an excellent defense mechanism.
There we go.
Whether you call it projection, denial, or displacement, blame helps you preserve your sense of self-esteem by avoiding awareness of your own flaws or failings.
Oh, that's the pride of a married man. You blame the wife. All the while, it's your damn fault. That's why you brothers come up here to marriage. We'll hear you, we'll hear her, and then we're like, oh, okay, sis. Well, let us talk to him. And we'd be like, it's your fault. Off top. It's your fault because God said you begin a possession. It's yours to build the way you build her up. It says you go back to it. It says you avoid the awareness of your own flaws or your failings, so you blame her. Number 2,
blame is a tool we use when we're in attack mode, falling into the category of a destructive conflict resolution method. Blame is a way to try to hurt our partners.
Ooh. Blame is a way to try to hurt our partners. It's a destructive conflict resolution method. That's what blaming is. It's destructive. You all the while you playing the blame, going back and forth, thinking that you are handling the problem. You actually destroying one another, because all that's going to come from that is built up resentment.
And you know how deep that is, because it says you're destroying one another, but you're actually destroying yourselves.
Yeah.
Because y'all one flesh now. So whatever you give him and whatever you taking back from him, y'all killing each other.
Yep. Biting
Bad boy.
and devouring is what it said. Go back
Yeah.
to it. Go back to the article. Number 3.
Number 3, we're not very good at figuring out the causes of other people's behavior or even our own.
That's why in Hebrews 5 and 12, it tells you that you have need that one teach you again. You brothers got problems in your marriages, but you don't even study the topic of marriage. You don't even know the right script to administer, to give to them, to handle the situation. You don't know what script to give her to get in check, and you don't know what script to apply to yourself to get you in check when you obviously got the devil on. So you know what you do? It's your fault. Woman, just be quiet. Just leave me alone. Why did you go there? Why did you do that? Go back to it.
Number 3, the attributions we make.
Okay, yeah, you're there. Go ahead.
The attributions we make, whether to luck or ability, can be distorted by our tendency to make a logical judgment.
Read on.
And we're just as bad at making judgments involving the blameworthiness of actions in terms of intent versus outcome.
So basically, you don't know when to stop blaming. You don't know when it's a good time to stop. You just keep on going, not knowing that it's going to further destroy. The more you keep on blaming, it's just going to keep on destroying. You don't even know. You ain't got the wisdom to know, like, damn, let me examine myself. Go back to it. Number 4.
Number 4, it's easier to blame someone else than to accept responsibility.
Ooh, remember, today's class, the pride of married man. Go ahead.
There's less effort involved in recognizing your contributions to a bad situation than accepting the fact that you're actually at fault and changing so you don't do it again.
Dang. That's heavy. It's less effort involved. We got precepts. We got plenty of precepts. Got plenty of them. I ain't even got to them. We just warming up. Go ahead. Go back to it. Number 5.
5, people lie. As my colleague Robert Fieldman discovered, everybody lies. It's pretty easy just to lie and blame someone else even though you know you're at fault.
That's married man right there. Every man in here knows that the head of the household is who, brothers? Go back to that. But it's real easy to lie and blame somebody else. Go ahead.
You may figure that no one will know it was really you who spilled coffee all over the break room. So you just blame someone else who's not there and hope that person never finds out.
That's what you do in your marriage. You will blame her for and we get to counsel with it. You man leave out so many details of what led to her bugging out like that. To her cussing you out, calling you all kind of names, doing this, that, and other. You leave out so many details because you know if you give actual details, it's going to point right back to you. Okay. Go to the next article. How to stop blaming others. Let's scroll down. I want to get straight to it. Right there. Those 3.
How to stop blaming others.
Scroll up some. You're a little too high on our end. Right there.
Your childhood and blaming others.
Your what?
Your childhood and blaming others.
Go ahead.
If you blame others for your problems, then most probably you are still attached to the way you used to be as a child.
Oh! That's the worst thing, to be a grown-ass man in your house playing the blame game, pointing the finger, and you really just a big old kid. And God forbid that your wife pull that card on you. Man, won't you grow up, stop acting like a little kid? Oh, that'll hurt you right here. You definitely come in for counsel. Off top. You wicked as hell, woman. But your childhood, and it's going to explain why. It says you're still attached to the way you used to be as a child. Read on.
Children always blame others.
Don't they? Ain't that what kids do? Who did it right here? Him. Mm-hmm. Off top, quick. They did it. I didn't do it. Wasn't me. Children always blame others. Read on.
because they haven't yet learned how to be responsible for their actions.
Ooh. You right, Eliakim. I was thinking it. He won't say it. Woo! Read that next one.
Acceptance and blame.
So in order to stop blaming others, grow the hell up. Next one.
Blaming others is usually an indication of the lack of ability to accept and cope with different situations that occur.
This is life. It's a lot of different situations going to happen, especially when you come into a marriage. It's things that's going to happen. Some of that stuff you can't control is just going to happen through time of being together. Go ahead.
Learning how to accept things the right way will certainly help you stop blaming others.
You got to grow up to do that. Next one.
Weakness and blaming others. The person who blames others is usually in the weak position, and he tries to gain some power over the situation by blaming other people.
Basically, what you do is you justify yourself by blaming other people. That's what it is. So you can get back on top. It's not my fault. It's really your fault because you did this, that, and the other. If you didn't do that, we'd be straight right now. And if the person happens to be like, you right, it is my fault. All the while you know it's actually your fault, in your mind, you're like, whew, dodge the bullet. Dodge the bullet on that one.
But in this case, as in a marriage, you can't dodge the bullet.
Nah.
Because you the man, you in charge of everything. So it always go back to you.
Yep. Go back to it.
By blaming other people. If you want to stop blaming others, then you should learn how to become in control of your life.
Lead your house. You got to study to do that, right? Go ahead.
How to be stronger and how to face different life problems.
1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. Let's see what God says about it. And I'll post these articles, Lord's will, later on, so you can actually look at this. If you find yourself, if you fall into the category of a prideful man, and you ones that got broken marriages, you are. And I'm going to prove it to you. Thus saith the Lord.
1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
When I was a child.
When you was a what?
When I was a child.
When you was a child blaming everybody else and you didn't want to take responsibility for your actions. When you was a child and didn't have a wife. When you was a child and didn't have responsibilities. When you was a child, you didn't have to live with somebody else and watch over them and build them up. You did what?
I spake as a child.
You spake as a child. Go ahead.
I understood as a child.
Uh-huh.
I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
You stop blaming your wife for the messed up marriage you got. You take responsibility for it, is what God's saying. You're supposed to be man in this truth. That's the only reason you got a wife is because you have now become a man, the age of 20 and up. And now God says you can have a wife now as a man. 2nd Ezra 10:33.
Second Esdras chapter 10 and verse 33.
I've been pulling this a lot the last few weeks for some reason. Read that.
And he said unto me, stand up manfully.
Do what?
Stand up manfully.
God says stand up like a man. That goes to stop blaming, stop pointing the fingers. Take responsibility for what he has given you, for what is yours. Stand up manfully, and then he can do what?
And I will advise thee.
Then he can begin to advise you. But if you're going to stay in your childhood state of always blaming others and not taking responsibility for your actions or for your marriage, he can't deal with you. You stay stuck in that circle of being a kid. Stand up manfully so he can advise thee. Go ahead.
Let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 7.
1 Corinthians.
This article is explaining this exact thing, but within our marriage. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 7. Now therefore there is utterly a fault among you.
There's a problem amongst you. Read.
because ye go to law one with another.
You did this wrong. No, you did this wrong. You going back and forth with one another, biting and devouring one another. Read.
Why do ye not rather take wrong? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded?
Why not the man take the blame? Because at the end of the day, it's our responsibility. Stop going back and forth with your wife. Take the blame and fix the problem. That's it on that.
Exactly right. Let's go to the article, One Thing That Kills Accountability. One thing that kills accountability. Okay, read that title.
The one thing that kills accountability, stone dead.
Now scroll down. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Woo, you gotta zoom in on that one, buddy. Scroll down. Okay, yeah, exit out for us. Keep going. Okay, so that's it. Go back up. So we're gonna start at go. Here's the section. How do you know you're a blamer? Where's it at? Let's go up. It's in bold print. You'll see it. There you go. Let's zoom in on that for everybody. Zoom in, and then you can scoot it up. Can you scoot it up? There you go.
How do you know if you're a blamer?
Speed up on that because it's a lot.
You're hesitant to accept any kind of responsibility for your choices and actions, especially if they led to an unfavorable result.
So you know that when we find that out, a lot of times that you're a blamer is when we ask you a head-on direct question, and you be like, well, you know, you start doing this. Well, you know, you know,
Years ago, a long time ago, I was affected by this and that or whatever, and
things happen. You a blamer. It's a yes or no answer to it, but you be like, I wouldn't say all that. You a blamer. Go back to it. A blamer, the second one.
A blamer also tries to get out of a sticky situation. They intentionally make it appear to be somebody else's fault, even if they're partly or fully to blame.
Read on.
But the crazy thing is, these same people that continue to point the finger and make their employees feel insecure,
Watch this. Go ahead.
are also usually the first to take the credit when everything pans out the way it should, and champagne bottles
And champagne
bottles are popped open.
When your wife do good works and she make this for the body, who's unleavened bread with that? Whose wife is that?
that's my wife right there.
Wife right there.
That's
yeah,
me.
yeah, that's me.
It's all me.
Right there. Oh, who made that garment? Oh, that's the house of. Yeah, we doing things good around there. When it's going bad, though.
Right. When it's the other way around, it's whose wife is that keeps getting
Whose
into
wife is out here gossiping like that?
Ninja Smoke?
Go.
Not my wife. It got to be somebody else. No, it's not her. Because my wife don't do that. No. But she do good. You the first one, the house of. The next one, read that. Blaming others. Third paragraph? Yeah.
Blaming others also wastes so much time. When you try to prove someone is right, there's no progress. And there's certainly no progress when you're trying to prove someone is wrong.
Now jump down for the sake of time. Jump down. So what do you need to do? Read that.
So what do you need to do? Simple. Ask yourself, what can I do to fix this situation we're in and make it work?
Read.
When you really step back and take accountability, it creates an ideal opportunity to innovate and add more value. In short, taking responsibility allows you to look forward.
So it says that in order to get out of that, you got to find what works, right? What's a solution to it? Let me show you something. Sirach 44. Let's read verse 1.
Sirach chapter 44 and verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us.
Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. Leaders of the people.
Hold on. Leaders what?
Leaders of the people.
Ain't every one of you brothers leaders of your household? Leaders of the people, they do what?
By their counsels.
Hold on. Leaders do what?
by their counsel.
Leaders are supposed to counsel. That's the way you fix from blaming. Leaders are supposed to counsel. So let's see. Let's see something. Go to Proverbs 27:15. Leaders of the people by their counsels. Leaders counsel. Proverbs 27:15.
Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 15.
15 and 16.
A continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her, hideth the wind.
Hold on. He does what?
Whosoever hideth her, hideth the wind.
Question, brothers. Can you hide the wind? Yay or nay? I need all you brothers. Can you hide the damn wind? No. You can't hide the wind. So you got prideful married man in a broken marriage trying to hide the wind of his wife and don't seek counsel for months until it blow up in his face. That's prideful married man right there. You try to hide the wind, sweep it up under the rug. Act like just you gonna let it blow over. We'll work through this. We've been through arguments before. You know, it's a blow over too. It don't. Right. What? It build up till it blow up.
That's right. Until the point where you the solutions are there, but like you said, you've been sweeping it under the rug for so long. Now it becomes a big lump under the rug.
Yeah.
And it's evident to everybody. Everybody can look at your situation and be like, yo, this
hey, that's a heavy point, right? I'm telling you right now, you brothers try to hide the wind when your marriage is broken, dude. I'm telling you, we can see it a mile away when you be like, all right, hey, you be like, it's time to go. And she look, all right, I'm going, y'all. Shalom, y'all. I got to go home. And then you don't even wait on her to walk out together. You go on and go outside already and get in the car and cut it on. You just wait for it to get in.
Just stand in the middle of the school right there and point to you.
Yeah, she give you that look.
Ouch. And everybody sees it.
Oh, you know what the Lord revealed to us too, how we can really see it. Oh, praise the Most High, man. He is a mastermind of exposing brothers that don't want to do what God tells them to do. Another way you show you can't hide the wind. We see it, especially you married brothers and sisters. The first thing you do is we don't see you on Telegram in the Marriages Honorable group. Hey, y'all seen have y'all seen them? Where they at? I ain't see. Everybody on here is posted, but I ain't seen them two post on here in a while. Lo and behold, what happens? Hey, they run it up the chain. They tag Captain Zakar in the message. Such and such needs counsel with him and his wife. Oh, now it makes sense why we don't see them two on the Marriages Honorable group. They trying to hide the wind. Surely your sin will find you out. You cannot hide the wind, because God says leaders are supposed to counsel on everything.
I pray y'all gleaning something from this class, because the moment y'all go into counsel, the first person that starts blaming, we're gonna be looking at you.
Yep. So what I read down here, Proverbs 27:15, right? It says, "Whosoever hideth her, hideth the wind," right? The reason why the leaders are supposed to seek counsel, especially you married man, all of you brothers don't have a wife. You don't have a wife that is shamefaced like Abigail and Esther. Remember, you just came out of darkness. All of them got different spirits. All of these sisters coming in, they off top, they not Abigail and Esther. A lot of these sisters is Jezebel and Vashti. And that's no shot at y'all sisters. You came out of darkness. America raised you to be that way. That's coming out of darkness. Now, if you still that way after your husband trying to create you, the devil. But we don't hold it against you coming out. We expect you to be Jezebel and Vashti. If you wasn't, you wouldn't be here.
Right. Some of these husbands know they wives could cuss them from hell and back, like literally.
Yeah.
I'm all praise to the Most High. I dodged the bullet with my Judite wife. Cause boy, Judah could cuss you, boy. They could cuss you out, bro. Make you feel bad. I'm trying to tell you, they cuss you out. Say, yeah, you and your third titty.
Hold on to it, man. I'm telling you. So you brothers that understand that, know what wife you got, man. Ain't all of them Abigail and Esther. Some of them are Jezebel and Vashti, and you need counsel to help you through it. And some of you are in here. Some of you are Nabal with your wife. Straight up, you're Nabal. You the devil. Proverbs 29:1.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 1. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy.
I'm going to read exactly what I got written down because I was thinking this thought when I was going to the scripture. It said, harden your neck. You're tired of counsel, but you're a leader that's supposed to counsel, so you don't counsel, further destroying not only yourself, but your possession and your children, because you're so tired of going through marriage counsel with your wife.
And Cap, you know what that's the result of? Not taking heed to the counsel. When you seek counsel and you ask for it, you don't do anything that you were counseled to do.
It wear off by the ride home. By the time you get home from the ride, it wears off, the damn counsel we gave you. And then you'll be right back in a few months later. Be like, oh, we just counseled them a few months later. It must have wore off. He being often reproved, counsel after counsel with your marriage, your neck gets hard and you stop coming for it, but you're a leader, so God keeps doing what? He puts you in situations to reveal to you that your marriage is being destroyed. Some brothers don't take heed. You just don't take heed at all. Proverbs 16:18. Proverbs 16:18. Let's read that.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18.
Let's see what it goes back to.
Pride.
Oh, read it again.
Pride goeth before destruction.
That's what you're full of. You full of pride. Your neck is hard. You're tired of counsel. You're tired of going through it. You've been married for 10, 15, 2 years. You're tired of going through all this counsel. Now pride begins to set in. And therefore, what's on his way? Read it again. Verse 18.
Pride goeth before destruction. And an haughty spirit before a fall.
Married men, especially in this truth, with broken marriages, are the most prideful men on the face of the earth. You know why I know that? Because you know that you are the head of the house and you're supposed to set it in order. And when it's broken and it's out of order, you don't want to reveal to nobody that you ain't got your house in control. So you just stay quiet until it builds up till it blows up. Read it again, verse 18, for these prideful married men out here in the nation.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Sirach 10 and 12. Let's read this. Let's read it. Now, we read this all the time.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 12.
But the Lord says, Job 11 and 6, it is double to that which is. Wisdom is, right? So let's read that.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 12. The beginning of pride.
The beginning of what?
The beginning of pride
That destroys you. Read.
is when one departeth from God.
You on your way out the truth. You as a married man are on your way out the truth. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, because what end up happening if that Vashti wife that you got that you didn't want to seek counsel about as a leader, you let it fester, she ends up leaving, then you be by yourself. And some of you brothers I'm telling you, some of you brothers is up in age. Tell you right now, you ain't like high on the single market, even if your wife left you and went back into the world. You ain't high on that market. You sit around here and be single again for 3, 4, 5 years. Let's see if you can do that after having that warm bed and that loving for 10 years, 12 years. Let's see if you can hold out 3-4 years. You find yourself right back in the strip club, right back committing sin, right back fornicating. You on your way out this truth. Read it again.
The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God.
You are departing from God because you are prideful as a married man. Go ahead.
And his heart is turned away from his maker.
Uh-huh.
For pride is the beginning of sin.
It's the beginning of what?
Is the beginning of sin.
No wonder we hear about you needing marriage counsel. You ain't seeking counsel, which as a leader, God told you to do. Therefore, you're in the midst of what, brothers? God surely will find your sin. Surely find your sin out. Read 13 again.
For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities.
He did what?
Brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them.
And did what?
And overthrew them utterly.
God destroyed you. And it's in your marriage. He destroyed you because you don't want to take heed and do what you're supposed to as a leader. Now look at this, what I got right here. This amazes me. God got counselors. Who does God counsel with? Who does he counsel with, brothers? Who is it? Just say it. The angels. God got counselors. David had a counselor in Ahithophel was his name. Solomon had counselors. You got God, David, and Solomon all got counselors, but you got Negroes 25, 30, 40 years old coming out of darkness and don't counsel with nobody. I got it. I can handle it. I'm a man. I can handle my own household. But God got counselors. David got them and Solomon, but you doing your own thing. No wonder God destroys you. Job 8 and 9.
Now, brothers, don't get the idea at all, because these scriptures are for inspiration, for hope, and becoming perfect. This is our strength. Do not ever in your life think by seeking counsel that it's weakness for a man. Do not think that. Because if we didn't have counselors as a nation, we would not exist.
Nope. Job 8 and 9.
Job chapter 8 and verse 9. For we are but of yesterday and know nothing.
And what?
And know nothing.
And what?
And know nothing.
God telling you, you don't know nothing. None of us know. We don't know how to perfect a marriage. It's a mystery as it is. So if you don't know nothing already and you dealing with a mystery, you better talk to somebody. You be a fool to go through this thing by yourself, waiting, letting it build up till it blow up. Read it again.
For we are but of yesterday and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow.
You here today, gone tomorrow. While you here, get as much counsel as you possibly can to make it as right as you possibly can while you're here. Now go to Proverbs 11 and 2. Let's speed it up.
Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
Do what?
When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
How does pride come and then shame right after that? That's what does Solomon try to convey to us? Who want to take a stab at it? Married man. No hands. Okay, read it again.
When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
Here we go. In the context of today's class, the pride of married man. Pride comes because you know what you're supposed to be doing. You know that you need help getting over this obstacle in your life, but you don't do what you know you're supposed to be doing. And now shame sets in because it has gotten so out of hand, you don't want to seek nobody's help. You just gonna let it destroy and bite and devour until just something happens. That's why pride and then shame comes right after it. Read it again.
When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom.
Go to verse 14.
Verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall.
It does what?
Where no counsel is, the people fall.
You fall. Replace the people with you. You fall. Where no counsel is, you will fall. Read on.
But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
It's safety. But your pride has set in, which keeps you back from doing what is right, being safe. Therefore, the shame comes in. And then the Lord has to expose it for you just to get you up out the rut. Or you'll just stay in there and just die off with a terrible marriage. Let's see what I wrote right here. You will fall. Your fractured marriage will become destroyed. Your destroyed marriage will affect your kids. And your affected kids will keep the kingdom from coming. Because you might just have problems right now. You know, there is trouble in the flesh. The Bible says that. There's a difference in it. All of us is going to go through that. But some of y'all in the beginning phase of where it's just fractured and it can be fixed. But you let it become broken. That's the pride. Go to the R Spot video. How much time I got here? I got a little bit of time. You got something real quick?
Yeah, Cap. Hey, that was so. Hey, when you read Proverbs 16 and 18, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. That haughty spirit is still pride. And then when you read Proverbs 11 and 14, where no counsel is, the people fall. After Solomon, his son ruled.
Yep.
And because of pride, since I'm in rulership, I do what the hell I want to do.
Yep.
And the right counsel that was given to him, he says, nah, I want to do it that way. I want to do it how my friends told me to do it. I want to do it the carnal way. Pride goeth before the fall. Same thing. It's because of pride you don't seek counsel. And that's what's going to destroy you at the end, because of pride. Yep. And that's deep how it's going right back into your class.
Go to that R Spot video. We're going to watch this for a second. This is, I think the lady's name is Ayanla. She's good, man. I'm going to subscribe to her channel. She's good. But listen to this. The things she say. And I was telling Zahai, I was like, man, she's good, man. She sound like your grandma. You just got to listen. The way she speak. Yeah, she been through some struggle. Play the video. We're just going to let it play.
Greetings, beloved, and Happy New Year.
I think I
wanted
to
take this
2 minutes.
moment.
2 minutes. Let's go to 2 minutes and get straight to the point.
Down between partners. And in our next episode next week, I want to look at broken family relationships. And in that episode, I want to cover parents and children, siblings, and even extended family members. But today, I want to talk to all of you out there whose relationship is on life support.
There we go.
Now, a broken relationship is one where the parties involved are just kind of hanging on to each other or hanging on to the relationship. Neither party is happy, and they're not sure why they stay, but they're not really ready to leave.
Pause it real quick. Now, I know why in here you stay. Go to it, Romans. This is the reason why you stay here. Romans chapter 7, and let's read verse 1 and 2, I think it is. Let's read 2 and... No, let's read 1.
Romans chapter 7 and verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
Verse 2.
For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth.
Uh-huh.
But If the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
So that's why we know exactly why we stay married in here. We bound by the law. But some of you bound by in a law of a dead marriage. Nobody's happy. You just taking care of the kids, paying the bills. Go back to the video.
A broken relationship is one where there's constant arguing. Maybe there's name calling and all manner of disrespectful behavior. And it's a definite.
You find yourself name calling your wife, you married man. You in a broken, on life support marriage. No way we should be calling our wife out of their name. They are princesses and daughters of God. No matter how mad they make you. So you got to examine yourself as a married man. For you to get to that point, something ain't right with you. It ain't her, it's you. Because you control the words that come out of your mouth, no matter what she does.
Relationship killer if there's any violence involved, or when there's the involvement of outside people, either outside lovers or gossip carriers, even advice givers who tune in to what's going on. A broken relationship is one where the trust is gone, the intimacy is minimal if it exists at all, or where the people in the relationship live two separate lives. It's one where the parties are mean to each other. Now, of course, there's no communication, at least not about the real issues. And when there is communication...
Pauses. So you talk about everything up under the sun, but what is really going on? What really got you two mad at each other? You talking about the groceries, the kids being ready for school, where you get paid, the bill, but you ain't talking about both y'all hate each other. She talk to you like you ain't nothing but a nigger, and you talk to her like she ain't nothing but a bee. You talk about everything under the sun instead of focusing on the problem. Go back to the video. Examine yourself. Some of y'all are here.
Communication, neither party can hear each other. What they hear instead is criticism or ingratitude or complaints and maybe even threats.
So if you are in a position being married and your marriage is broken, life support, and neither one of you can hear each other because you are pointing the finger, you're biting and devouring, and you're what was that? What I had over here? Strife and envy. What would the logical leader of the house do if y'all two are at odds like that? What should he do, brothers? What's the word? What's the word, brothers? Counsel. That's what you should do. That's what the logical good leader would do. Go back to the video.
There's another kind of broken relationship. It's the dead relationship. This is where two people live together or they are together, and that's about all they do. There's no arguing. There's no intimacy. And there's no communication because there's no life in the relationship. There's no energy. Now, there may be some
what you say,
love,
Officer Judah?
but it is...
What you say it is?
It's not a married couple. Those are roommates.
That's it. You two roommates. Now, the pride of married man, that's the class. But you single brothers and you single sisters, you can learn from this. Newlyweds, you can learn from this stuff, what not to do to get to that point of being just in a dead relationship. Marriage, I mean. Go back to it. Let me stop. Let the video play.
Rarely, if ever, demonstrated. Now, this is the height of frustration and unhappiness. This is where one or both parties is thinking about calling it quits, but neither does for whatever reason. They just kind of stay together, sucking up space and calling what they're doing a marriage or a relationship when it is anything but that, because it's dead or dying. Now, if you are in one of these situations, I want you to know two things. First, the relationship can be healed. And the second thing is, you're probably not going to want to do what you need to do to heal it. But let's look at it anyway. I mean, what have we got to lose? Now, there are many ways to break a relationship, a love ship. But today, I want to examine 3 common things. Number 1, betrayal of trust. Number 2, unresolved hurts. And number 3, laziness.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
hey, hold on. Go to 7 minutes. I want to get straight to the unresolved hurts. And then we'll tap the laziness for you married man. A lot of sisters, y'all ain't got to say, just blink if these Negroes over here lazy. I know they are. You ain't got to tell me. I be lazy sometimes, so I know they lazy. Yeah. I'm teaching myself too. Go to that. Play that.
But trust is fragile. Once it's broken or repeatedly broken, that relationship is in a lot of danger. Now for number 2, unresolved hurts. These things right here, they are poison. They are arsenic. They are deadly. It's those little things, the little slights, the little disappointments, the little broken promises that then get magnified by the big things. Words spoken in anger or failure to support, affirm, or encourage your partner. Bad behaviors of all kinds, including addictions, and yes, the I word, infidelity. And if these were not bad enough on their own, then there is the refusal or the failure to talk about them. That will break a relationship down.
What's that called,
it's a relationship killer.
What's it called? It's gonna break your marriage down. But you prideful married man, goodness gracious. Play the video.
You've got to talk about those things. Incomplete conversations about the things partners do to hurt one another. Oh my God, it takes your breath away. And it takes away commitment and respect, and it will suck the love right out of a relationship. But still, it can be healed. And finally, there's laziness. I cannot tell you how rampant relationship laziness is today in our world. Partners are lazy about sweet talk. They're lazy about doing those special little things. They're lazy about making time, date time, sex time, quiet time.
I still got to do a class on that, don't I? Lazy lovers. No, I didn't do the class on that. I said I was going to do a class called Lazy Lovers. I didn't do that class. Lazy Lovers. All praises. Thank you, Officer Daniel. And that's going to hit both of them, brothers and sisters, on that day. Go back to the video.
Away from the children and the bills. Partners are lazy about taking care of each other. I mean, a back rub, a foot rub, a nice dinner, flowers, cards, things that say you matter to me and I care about you. You know, a lot of us don't do that. I have a friend who occasionally travels for work. And anytime she leaves town, even if it's once every 6 months, before she gets on the plane, the train, the bus, or in the car, she puts a card in the mail to her husband. She has done it for years. I mean, all of us know about it. We all know about it. And we'll ask her, did you send him his card? No, because she said she never wants her husband to think that when she's leaving him, he doesn't matter. But partners get comfortable.
Pause it. So in vice versa, you married man, you should never be at the point where your wife don't think she matter. And the first way that your wife would think she don't matter to you, you won't even get counsel to fix the problems between y'all two. You are letting her know that she don't matter to you because you don't want it to be right between y'all two. They pick up on them signals. They ain't stupid. That's why you keep getting the attitude. You don't care, she don't care. Go back to it.
And lazy. They take each other for granted.
Oh, they do what? Oh, pause it. What did that say, brothers? Y'all take y'all wife for what? Pull the picture down. I want my face on. I want them to see this. Even the man in Israel need to see this too. You take your wife for what? Didn't God say in Proverbs 18, says, he that findeth a wife finds a what? Why would you take that for granted? You treat her however you want to. You don't do it right. You're lazy with her. You don't try to make things right. It's just, it is what it is. We just married. We got to stay together because the law say so. Take her for granted. You know, what you talking about? Hugs and kisses and...
Think about this, man. With a rib, you could be at 2 places at once. You can handle. They don't understand that. You can literally handle. Hey, I gotta go take this over here and do this. Actually, wife, take that over here. Let me handle this over here. Y'all could tackle things down together. But y'all don't know how. Y'all don't have no teamwork.
Nah.
Cause y'all biting each other, trying to devour each other alive.
Good point. It's gonna say, we're gonna say that later. We're gonna drop a video. I'll post it later so you brothers can watch it. You better watch it before your wife get to it. She watch it before you do. She gonna start measuring you up with what she said and the scriptures. Be like, you gonna be up here for counsel? I'll guarantee it. They gonna say, I think we need to counsel. And then you don't see it. You can be like, he's out the spirit. They're gonna tell the senior sister over, my husband's out the spirit. Can you have leadership to speak to him? Don't want to get there, brothers. So let's give you some solutions. You don't want to get there. Proverbs 20:18. You don't want to get to that point. Yep, Proverbs 20:18.
Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Every purpose is established by counsel.
Every purpose is established by counsel. Your marriage is established by counsel. That counsel first started where? Where did the counsel when your marriage, where did it first start? Let's see who's thinking. Let's see. No hands. Your counsel first started in the heavens. She was ordained for you from the what, brothers? That started in the heavens. I said, yeah, she'll be a good helpmeet for him. For his spirit right there, he's going to need somebody like this. Let's put them together. That's where your counsel of that, your purpose first started, was in the heavens. Read on.
Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war.
Do what?
Make war.
Tell you right now, some of you brothers are at war. Some of you brothers are at war in your house. But you at war with who? Let's see. Let's see who's thinking. You at war with who in your house? Jabez in the back. Who you at war with?
You at war with yourself.
Okay. No. You can use it better. I would. In the back. Hamur. Who you at war with?
Christ.
Huh?
Christ.
Why would you be at war with Christ?
Because
No, it's wrong. I don't need to hear the explanation. No, you ain't at war with him. You can't win that. He want peace. Bring it back up front up here to Abdiel. Just got some juice from his wife. You better answer this right. Who you at war with? She throw the juice.
with your wife.
Huh?
With your wife.
No! You ain't at war with your wife in the house. You at war with Satan. What's the first thing that Satan attacked in the beginning? What was it, brothers? What did Satan attack when he went and tried Job? Who did he attack? You at war with Satan in your house. Remember, we read earlier in James 3, it says strife and envy and all that is sensual and devilish, demonic. You at war with Satan. When you go back and forth, you at war with Satan. He's on one of you all. It's either you trying to hide the wind or it's her coming out the spirit. You at war with Satan, not your wife. That's why you got problems in your house. You blaming her instead of looking at the real problem. Satan up in the midst of here. Let's pop out these scriptures. Get ye behind me, Satan. Marriage is honorable in all. Live joyfully with thy wife. Seek counsel in all things. Be satisfied with her love. One flesh. You blaming her. That's Satan up in there. That's who you at war with. Where's the proof? 1 Peter 5 and 8. I pray you brothers are learning something today. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Let's read it.
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
And who's the first person he's going to devour in a marriage, brothers? Who is it? The wife. He's waiting on you to be prideful, not seek counsel. He's waiting on you to not teach her up as your possession. He's waiting on you. That's the right one to devour right there. Get him. Go ahead, real quick.
You got to remember, if the match was made in the heavens and the counsel was set that this is the perfect woman for this brother, because when he was single, he was walking around here mourning. He was sad as hell, looking crazy in the face.
Yeah.
This is going to be the perfect one for him to bring that joy into his life, to forget all those sorrows that he had.
Yeah.
And what Satan's saying, set it up.
So Satan already got a jump on both of you.
Right.
He goes to and fro in the from the heavens to the earth. He already know who's ordained to be together. So as soon as you get together down here on earth, what he do?
Jump right on. Yep.
I've been waiting on you.
Yep. So when you do make her your wife, he jumps right on her, like you say, jumps right on her, and you have to just be like, okay, because I sought counsel before I got married. I seen this coming.
I seen you.
Satan.
Get ye behind me. You ain't coming up in here. But the pride of a married man, he will take his chances with Satan.
He'll be like, I got this.
I can defeat the devil. You might have in the beginning when it was maybe fractured, but when it's broken, you need somebody else to step in. That's called counselors. That's called judges. Let's go to verse 16, James 3. Let's read 16, 17. Real quick. Solutions, right? James 3, 16, 17.
James chapter
3, verse 16.
James 17. Chapter 3 and verse 16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
You got to speed it up.
But the wisdom that is from above is first pure.
The wisdom from above is pure. Go ahead.
Then peaceable.
Is what?
Then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy.
This is how you know that the Lord is dealing with you in your marriage, and he's dealing with you is when you ain't partial with yourself in a marriage. That's the first person you're going to be partial with. It ain't my fault. It's their fault. That's how you know God is dealing with you. When you get into that moment of a debate or argument, and you, hold on. We ain't going to let Satan get up in here. Let's talk this thing out. You're right. I was wrong. I haven't been doing what I was supposed to be doing. You know what? I need to get back on it. You know what? Let's go seek counsel just to make sure we got all our T's crossed and our I's dotted so we don't leave nothing out. Maybe they got some solutions that we ain't thought of that we can apply. That's how you know that the Lord is in the midst of that thing. Yeah, if you're doing that, but it's easy to be entreated and you're not partial with yourself. Now go to Sirach 37 and let's read 14 through 16. Sirach 37, 14 through 16. Watch it.
Sirach chapter 37 and verse 13.
14.
For a man's mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower.
That's why you need counsel. That's why you need it, right? Because your mind races. It races. It goes, the first thing that's going to pop up in a lot of us is the old man solutions, not the righteous solutions. Read on.
And above all, this pray to the Most High, that he will direct thy way in truth.
Hold on. Now, it says your mind's racing. You don't know what to do. The next thing to do is to pray, and he's going to direct thy way to truth. Read the next verse to see where God would direct you.
Verse 16. Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel
And what?
And counsel before every action.
No wonder some of you brothers got broken marriages. You don't even pray for your marriage to be right. That's why you ain't came up here for counsel. Because if you would have prayed for God to fix your marriage, he would have led you to what? What verse 16 say?
Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
So that lets me know that some of you brothers ain't even praying about your marriage that is in shambles. Don't even pray about it. Remember what I asked earlier? What is the least studied topic of married men in Israel? Is what, brothers? Marriage. Guess what the least prayed about thing is too in Israel? Marriage. You don't even pray. Because if you was, God would have been sent you to counsel. That's how he speaks to you through the leaders he set up. Okay. Don't want to read it. All right, let's go to the secrets of having a happy marriage.
Hey, that's crazy, Cap, because it happened in the body. A brother was praying. A body was like, man, I need counsel, but he was kind of afraid to come up to leadership and ask for it. And for some reason, there was a brother that went down from up here, spoke with the brother, and was like, yo, you all right? You need counsel, bro? He was like, yo, man, this is crazy.
I remember you told me that. Yeah.
Bro, that is, man, boy, you pray for it, the Most High is going to bring it to you,
That's how it is. Your mind is racing. You don't know how to fix the problem. So you 7 watchmen is talking to you in your mind. Do this, do that, do that. You don't know what to do. Then God says, pray, and I'll guide your steps. The next verse says, I'm going to lead you to counsel. Secrets to having a happy marriage. Don't mind the old Edomites. No, it's cotton candy, I think. Read that.
The secret to having a happy marriage.
Scroll down. It's a few points on this. Okay, read that.
First of all, even happy couples argue.
Now, that's what I was saying earlier. It's going to be trouble in the flesh, but you got to understand the difference between trouble in the flesh and a broken marriage. If you pull the thing down, hey, active listening, y'all. Y'all caught up in the damn class. Y'all supposed to be on the 1s and 2s. Okay, just think. If you arguing every day, if you argue every week about something, you in a broken marriage. There's no way you should be every week. You find yourself in an argument, and it linger for 2-3 days, and then y'all love each other again. You in a broken marriage. No way that somebody that is supposed to be living joyfully together is arguing every day about something. Every week you got an argument? You in a broken marriage. Read that real quick.
Hey, you can blow it up some more. No marriage is happy all of the time.
Ooh. Let's go down. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's it. Go ahead.
No marriage is happy all of the time.
You gotta speed up.
Like all relationships, there are ups and downs, says psychologist Erica McGregor. But when you do fight, happy marriages listen to each other's point of view. Recognize when the argument is going off the rails and make the necessary repairs. She says, in fact, Dr. Julian Morris, a family and couples therapist, says that some of the happiest couples she has worked with have weathered hard times. So if you and your spouse sometimes argue or are going through a rough patch, This does not necessarily mean you are in an unhappy marriage. In fact, it probably means you're normal.
So understand, you're gonna argue. It's gonna be trouble in the flesh. God says that, right? And a lot of that stuff is to purge out impurities in us to make us perfect before Christ comes back. But understand the difference between trouble in the flesh and a broken marriage. Go back to it, number 2.
Focus on each other's strengths.
This is how to have a happy marriage. Go ahead.
It's not always easy to see past minor annoyances, and at times you may even hate your partners. But to have a happy marriage, you have to accept your partner's strength and weaknesses and be able to set realistic expectations, says Ellen Chewett.
Skip all of that and go to, it says, if their strength is cooking. It's right in the middle. Yeah.
If their strength is cooking, they can manage meal planning instead, using our strengths on a daily basis and associated with greater well-being.
Skip all them names. Go to and when we help our partner at the end.
And when we help our partner use their strengths, we experience more relational satisfaction.
Focus on each other's strengths instead of the negatives. Go to the next one.
Don't expect your partner to complete you.
That going into what does that mean? That if they ain't happy, you ain't happy. All your whole life is just run through you. If they don't study, you don't study. Like some sisters, you gotta take some responsibilities for your own walk in this truth, right? Just cause they out the spirit don't mean you gotta be out the spirit,
right?
Cause you so wrapped up in them, right? Go back to it. Go back to it. Next one down there at the bottom. We're skipping that one.
But still, do things together and have fun together. Why it's important to not fully depend on your partner in order to maintain a happy marriage.
I mean, you brothers have some friends. Sisters, have some friends. Because you're going to get on each other's nerves. You need to go talk to somebody. Brothers, you got plenty of brothers up here. Sisters, you got plenty of sisters. That's what it's talking about, expecting them to complete you. Have some friends. Go back to it.
For real, when my wife be on the phone, I be like, yeah. She ain't going to be bothering me right now.
You going where? You going with the sisters?
Right.
Yeah, go on. You go ahead. When you be back? All right, love you.
Yeah, for real. Go! Let's go back. But still do things together and have fun. While it's important not to fully depend on your partner in order to maintain a happy marriage, it's also necessary to share common experiences.
Go to when couples share unique.
When couples share a unique passion or learn a skill together, such as take a cooking class or tennis lessons, they evolve together. According to Morris, happy couples have a zest for life with each other. Whether it's a love of travel, a strong desire to build a family together, or a dedication to a common cause. These experiences enrich their relationship.
So, your marriage on the ropes, find something that y'all can do together as a husband and a wife. Maybe, hell, go to the beach and start a shell collection.
Yeah.
Paint together. I don't know.
Hey, Cap, I had mentioned to my rib about doing about taking dance lessons like salsa.
Do something like that, man.
Something like that. Like I said, it's something.
Whatever y'all got a passion that both of y'all like to find something together to do. That's bonding time right there.
Right.
Some of y'all brothers spend too much time with the boys.
Right.
Sheesh.
Yeah, another one, me and the wife would do puzzles together.
Okay.
Doing 500 pieces, 1,000 pieces, and it brings us closer. Us, me, the wife, and the children. We do the puzzles together. So that brings a lot together.
Okay, go back to it. That's another one down there. Oh,
choose to be attracted to your spouse.
Choose to be attracted to your spouse. You got to do that.
Right.
You got to understand, you're going to pop out some babies. You're going to get old. Things going to start sagging. You got to choose to be attracted. Not let your lust still keep you as a child in your 20s expecting everything to stay tight. It just don't work like that. Gravity is real.
Right. Bring out, girl.
You hear me? Gravity's real, man. Yeah.
Yeah, some brothers, I don't even knew, like some brothers don't think, they probably thought it was a sin to get your wife a lingerie. You could get that, man. You could get lingerie.
Yeah.
And some brothers,
Just be happy with what's in it.
Right. For real.
Go back to it. Go down. We're going to skip all of that. Go back to the next one. Next one. There we go.
Laugh with each other.
Laugh with each other. Read through that real quick.
Life is stressful, so it helps if you can find lightness even when you're in the thick of it. Typically, when a couple has humor, it means they have perspective, says Morris, who recommends couples find laughter in both good and bad times. She says that she noticed that couples in happy marriages have ease around each other, whether it's through little inside jokes, a silly unexpected text, or even just watching your favorite comedy together. Connecting with your spouse with laughter can increase your bond, she says.
Laugh with each other. Get some laughter back in there, man. And the scriptures talk about laughing, right? It's a healing to you.
Hey, Cap, there was one, me and the wife was arguing one time, right? And there was a class after that, you know, I think you probably did it where, you know, we men didn't have a father figure, we may need a hug.
Yeah,
so she sent me a text, so you need a hug? I was like,
Daddy's a dead. Father's daddy's a deadbeats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that
like,
class.
oh, you need a hug? I was like, wow, you smooth.
Yeah,
it was
that was a
funny,
good
though.
one.
It was funny.
Okay, Eliana got jokes. That's a good one. Read that last one.
Be kind to one another.
Be kind. Right? We know that. Be kind to one another. Just be courteous. Be polite. Don't call them out their names.
Right.
Don't call him out his name. Right? Be kind with one another. Hold the door for your wife. Take the groceries in the house. Right? Do those things, man. Read that last one.
Celebrate small, good moments. Appreciate each other.
Go down. No, go back up, man. Come on, stay with us.
Appreciate each other.
Read that real quick.
When you're with someone all the time, it's easy to take them for granted.
Take them for what?
For granted.
And that's what married men do. You take your wife for granted. You take her for granted, man. Go ahead.
They really don't understand. Me having to deal with Elijah with his homeschool, Cap, I almost made him eat the keyboard.
Damn.
I don't have the patience it takes to teach the children like that. The wife does. I'm having his neck like, boy, you don't see that? 2 + 5 = 7, boy. I'm like, she look, see these, and she'll play, bring colors and all that. Me, I'm look like, brother, look. Like, I don't have that patience, so
right.
I take that for granted. I'm looking like, nah.
Man. Go back to it.
So appreciate each other. When you're with someone all the time, it's easy to take them for granted. But according to McGregor, you should verbally express your appreciation every day.
Every day. Go ahead.
Whether you're calling positive attention to something thoughtful they have done or letting them know something you like about them. We all need to feel appreciated and reinforced for the things we are doing. Right? Says McGregor. For example, if your spouse make you coffee in the morning, tell them it started your day with a smile. If we don't feel valued, we may become resentful and grow apart.
So maybe that's one of the reasons, brothers. You ain't appreciating your wife. You ain't telling her the things she need to hear. She cooking your food, washing your clothes, and you just all stank about it. Go to that last one.
Accept and expect change.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, read it real quick.
Pulaski believes that to be truly happy in marriage, couples must be willing to grow and adapt. Our needs are always changing. People are growing and relationships evolve.
Especially in this truth. We are growing and evolving every week, every day, Lord willing. We're growing and evolving, and you need to point those things out to your wife. Let her know you on your way to being a Proverbs 31 woman. I see it. Go back to it.
It's
Almost
crucial. She says, so what we need today may not be what we need years from now. Morris agrees.
So you husbands, you got to grow up. Get out of that childlike mentality. Go ahead.
It's crucial to bend, flex, and pivot with each other in a balanced dance. She says because in successful marriages, each person supports the other so that they can grow to become the best person they can be.
Can a married brother tell me how you can support your wife to be the best woman she can be in this truth? How can you do that? Any married brother know? We got 1, 2. La Wahhabia. I'm telling you, brothers that ain't got no answers. Your marriage is on your way. I'm telling you. Brother, you can't. I asked that question. You can't think of nothing. You on your way. We're gonna see you in a little while. Go ahead. La Wahhabia, what you got?
Show him leadership.
Show him.
Compliment her when you find her studying at the crib.
There we go. I like it. Compliment her. Give her something to study. Ask her some questions about what she studied. Do those things. Brothers don't do that, especially in this truth. How many times we hear, he ain't teaching me. Go to Ecclesiastes 9:9. Last few scriptures here. Y'all watch out for headquarters for me.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life.
Hold on. God is telling these married men in here to do what? Read it again.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity.
That's the end all be all of being married. Living joyfully with your wife. That's the end all be all goal that you want in the marriage, no matter how long it is. And it's going to explain it. I'm going to show y'all something. Live joyfully, right? Read on.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun. All the days of thy vanity, for that it is thy portion in this life.
It's thy portion in this life. Go ahead.
And in thy labor which thou takest under the sun. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do.
So who can understand? Solomon talks about a woman and a husband live joyfully, and then the next verse it says, whatsoever thy hand find to do, do it with all thy might. Why would Solomon put that right behind it? 1, brother. 2, you ain't married. Married brothers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Okay. Bring it up here to Officer Daniel. Let's see what he got. See what Solomon's trying to tell us. Zachariah raised his hand too? 7. Okay. Go ahead.
He's going into topic being a husband and a wife. He's saying do that role with all your might. Your husband, the title you have as a husband, you do that with all your might. You teach, you fulfill her needs as far as moral support.
Love.
There you go. Love support as well.
Solomon tells you, live joyfully. Next verse, go hard at that thing to make it joyful. Stop being lazy like the sister said. Stop being prideful that you just gonna do what's required of you. I'm gonna do the bare minimum as a husband. I'm gonna sign the papers. That's the bare. I'm gonna sign the papers. I'm gonna keep a roof over your head. I'm gonna give you some food and your clothing, because that's the duty of marriage and nothing outside of that. Forget the joy, the celebrating the little things, showing you appreciate it. Forget all of that stuff. Let me just do the bare minimum to keep you around. Solomon said, what you find, he said, do it with all thy might. For what reason? Read it again, verse 10.
Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest.
In the what?
In the grave whither thou goest.
So unless Christ returns before that time, all of us is going to the grave. It's a you know, we don't like to think about it, but it's gonna happen unless Christ come back before that time. We're going to it. So if that be the case, and I'll read verse 11. Speed up, verse 11.
Verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
Time and chance happens to us all. And what is it talking about, time and chance? Verse 12, speed up, read that.
For man also knoweth not his time.
He don't know his what?
His time. As the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them.
Verse 9 again.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity.
Because you don't know when you're going to go to the grave. You do not know when you're going to the grave. Time and chance. It says, none of us know the day, the night, the month, the hour, or the minute when our time is up. Not one of us in here can say, oh, I know I'm going to be gone around this time. Some of you, I expect to live to be 70 years old, 80 years old. I'm going to live a long old life. You could be gone at any moment. Be like, you be telling the story, he died at a young age. It must have been his time. Let's look back at his marriage life. How was it? Ooh, that was shambles. He did not live joyfully. So if that be the case, live joyfully with the wife of your youth and make the best of the marriage that God has given you, because you only got one. So you married man, stop being prideful.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.